my way back home.
Here we are. This is where Russell City officially began. And these are the tracks that everybody talk about. They would say, you know you're in Russell City when you get to the tracks because your car would hit the bottom. After you come over the tracks, you'd go down Russell Road and you make a left right into the country club. On any given night, you could see people that was gonna be somebody. Big Joe Turner, Big Mama Thornton, even T-Bone Walker some nights would come in here. So you came to Russell City, you had to be playing. Russell City, the difference is you would hear more of the big horn sections.
Good morning, everyone. What's the game? This is yours truly, Bobby Spiderweb, spinning them for you this morning, and every Tuesday morning from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. We have in this studio the one and only Ronnie Stewart.
Yeah, we glad to be here with past and present media. You know, we work on that documentary for Russell City.
When they came to Russell City, they came to hear the real deal. They came to hear the blues. I never will forget when you walked in, over to your left-hand side was the bar. You walked down a little further, and there was a little side area there where the band played, and then down further, there was tables.
From the halls of Russell City to the halls of Hayward High, Benny Pacheco. Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, I don't believe this. Where you been at, man? Where you been at? Yes.
Catholic Church, that's the country club right there.
Okay, so what was the music like in these places?
Blues. Yeah, every blues man worth his salt ever come to the West Coast come through Russell City. Mm-hmm. Like I say, I think the biggest one was Ray Charles. And Ray Charles was there about 62. And they had cars backed up for miles.
Absolutely.
We're about a half a mile from Russell City, which railroad tracks separated. These things that we're seeing around here, none of these things existed. To my left, right here, where you're seeing these trees right here, this is where Russell School used to be. Monroe Street, about 30 feet that way was Monroe Street right here. So that puts the house right in here.
When one thinks of that little boy scout being sent out of town, losing his home at his daddy's store, going to this terrible camp in Wyoming, and coming back and being a member of the city council, the mayor of an important American city, going to Congress and being one of the leaders in Congress, and then topping it off by being a member of the president's cabinet. It's just a great American story.
A date which will live in infamy.
In the spring of 1942, anti-Japanese hysteria was sweeping the country. It was only 5 months after the bombing of Pearl Harbor and the entry of the United States into World War II. The U.S. government ordered 120,000 Japanese Americans to be rounded up and sent to internment camps.
These were American citizens this happened to. This wasn't some foreign nation that suddenly plopped a bunch of spies in the United States. These were American-born citizens of this country who happened to be of Japanese ancestry. And so it was damaging to this country and damaging to the basic principles that hold us as a democracy.
Like many other Japanese Americans, the Mineta family of San Jose was evicted from their home, loaded onto a train, and shipped to the U.S. relocation and internment camp in Heart Mountain, Wyoming. Norman Mineta was 11 years old.
On the day that we left San Jose to board the trains to go to camp was the second time I saw my dad cry, because as we were pulling out of San Jose on the train, he was crying. And that was, I was wearing my Cub Scout uniform, baseball glove, and baseball bat. And as I got on the train, the MPs confiscated the bat on the basis it could be used as a lethal weapon. At Heart Mountain, it really started to sort of sink in about what was happening to us. And I remember someone was saying that we're in these camps for our own protection. And even as an 11-year-old kid, I'd think, well, if we're in here for our own protection, and there were these guard towers every 200-300 feet, searchlights and machine gun mounts, I used to always think as I looked up at them, if we're in here for our protection, then why are the machine guns pointed in at us and not out? You say to yourself, you're a prisoner of war in your own country.
I don't think I really know yet that they're dead. Not really. I mean, the thought, obviously I think about it all the time, but the real thought, the real clear understanding that they're dead will just sometimes come knocking, and inside I just sort of turn my head away and I say, no, I know, but not right now. I can't think about that right now. The loss, as you know, occurred on September 11th. It was part of the larger national tragedy. All four of them were killed in the plane crash of the Pentagon. I look at the loss and I see it as an enormous crater, just a huge crater with, I sometimes visualize it with, maybe 20 miles wide and 10 miles deep with belching forth sulfurous, black, acidic smoke. I mean, it's just the sort of thing you look over the edge and go, whoa. And yet, this is where I am. I'm walking on the edge of this crater. And something that I believe is that it will not go away. It will not, you don't get over something like this. You get used to it. And there's a big difference.